Welcome to Blank Pages, the podcast. It's a podcast for people who appreciate the new beginnings of a clean slate, but strive for the courage, willingness, curiosity, and creativity available only on the blank pages of new possibilities. It's the potential to move beyond and move forward, where people are willing to make new decisions from fresh perspectives and are ready to write in a much better way. Well, the world is waiting and listening, and nothing listens better than a blank piece of paper. So welcome to the show. I'm so excited you're here, and hopefully you have been listening since for a while. We're at 52 or 51, episode 51 or 52, and it's been a great year, and I've been enjoying this. I've been enjoying sharing the things that have been popping up in my head, things that I've been learning, things that I've been seeing, experiencing, and able to share those with you. I try to take lessons learned and life lessons and pass them on to other people to where hopefully it can add value to their life and do some good in their world, in their world, in their headspace, and so forth, so on. So last episode, I opened up and I talked to you about the community, the Uphill community, and I'm going to continue just talking about like the motivation behind that, why I'm doing this community, and even if you don't jump into my community or someone else's community and join and become a member, I just want you to be thinking about community. So today is just me talking about the power of community. But in this case, since we are so socially connected and so social media, meaning we're so interconnected with even gaming, with wearing VR and all this stuff, there are these communities happening. I just want to make sure that no matter what, at the core and the foundation, that if you're going to be online, if you're going to be using tools like that and resources, I guess what I want to do is help people do it in a healthy way. I want to make sure that they understand that there's a healthy way to be online and a healthy way to do that. And the reason that I'm doing the community is because there are so many people that I can't connect with and so many people I don't have the opportunity to connect with, but have had conversations with me and said, hey, it'd be really cool if there was a way for me to not just go into and learn some self-paced course, which you can do that on Kajabi, and those are cool to do, Thinkific, and you can do that with Teachable. There's just so many tools out there, and I understand that. But, and you can do those with people and you can learn, but you can have Facebook groups, you can have, all kinds of ways. But when the community that I'm making, it's not having to jump from one thing to the other thing or to the other thing. Everybody in community is together in one location. It's in one app. It's on one, if it's on your computer, your iPad, or on your phone, everything from the video to the events that we meet up on video to when I have guests on and the collaboration and the chat thread, everything is in one space. The learning is there. We can literally do real-time poll questions and things that just happen inside. And what's nice about it is everything that we're doing, we're curating the people come together, but the interests and what you're looking for and things like that all gets curated and brought together and sorted and separated to where it's easy to find people that are working on things. And for me, this community is all about helping people that are in transition, people that are trying to go to the next level. People that want more out of their life than just, they do. And sometimes it's okay. You want to learn to sew. Awesome. Go do that. There can be a sewing community. There can be a running community. There can be a cook better community. Hey, listen, wherever you can build community, great. My community, what I'm trying to put together is you figure out what you want to do. I want to help you with the mindset on it. I want to help you get the clarity on it, have the standards for it. I want you to have the people with you for it. I want you to be able to take the steps that you've got to take to get there. I want you to have the accountability in it. So whatever it is, if it's a dream, if it's a goal, if it's whatever it is, this community is all about that. That's why it's called the Uphill community. So if you're listening right now, I just want to, before I get too far ahead, thank you for listening. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, if you're on Amazon Music, Substack, Odyssey, or Audible, all of those places, it's simple. It's blank pages, BL, and then a space, empty, right? Just a space, NK, and then P space GES, and you will find blank pages. Real simple. Drop the 2 A's out of the words blank and pages, and it's very easy to find. Please follow the show, like the show, review the show, share the show, and I promise you, I'm only going to share things that I think are going to add value to your life. And if you're listening and it doesn't, and something you're not interested in, hey, you could always just wait for the next week or listen to a different one. But I try to give you things that are going to add value and help you with your future and your journey and where you're going. So, also, if you want to know more about me and what I'm doing, you can go to LinkedIn and find me, Tim Pecoraro, TimPecoraro, or on Instagram at Tim Pecoraro. Also on Instagram, you can click on my bio link and you can see how to find this podcast. You can see where the community I'm talking about today specifically is joining into Tuck. That's the Uphill community. Learn more about it. I would love for you to consider this. If you're not in this community, find one that you can be a part of. And I'm not talking about community meaning like there's a community of listeners. You know, Joe Rogan has a massive audience, and that's an audience. But in the audience, I'm sure there's some people that engage and interact. That's a community. And then it could even get more granular than that. There are folks that will build relationships and connections from there that even get more of a robust community out of it. What I'm talking to you about is that community part, not the audience. It's a community. And that's what I'm trying to invite people into. So, that's a lot that I'm putting out there. So what I want to do is just talk about community, the importance of community. And then why am I doing it specifically, for me in particular, online, right? So I'm definitely doing the online version of building community. I have a church community. I have my neighborhood community. I have a community of people that when I do sports that we're in that. I have a music community. There are all these different communities, but in my space of learning and growing, this is bigger than a mastermind, but it's where I find people from all different walks of life who have come in and they're in the beta group of the Uphill community, and they've already gone with me. We've used the tools, we used the apps, we've done some learning together around leadership. We took a topic and we spent 7 weeks digging into these principles around leadership and how to apply them. And everybody was able to use those for their own life, whether it's for their own self, leading themselves, leading their families. Maybe they want to learn more about leadership because they want to grow in their business. Maybe they own a business. Maybe they're a leader at the business, whatever it is. And what's cool is they interact. They're the ones that when the material is shared and we talk about it, they're the ones that have the magic that keep things moving. It's those guys. It's the people in the community that keep it going. There's something special about a group of people who are in transition, who are trying to get clarity, raise their standards, and embrace their call to and for more. Bingo. That is the Uphill community. That is what I'm doing. That is why I'm bringing people together. Because I travel with my clients, I go to places, meet with my clients, I go work in from the West Coast to up north. I go to DC a good bit and work with a client there. And what's nice is I get a bunch of people in the room, we work on stuff, but there are more people beyond that. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the people beyond those moments I can get in the room who I can invite them into a space because they're always talking about, Tim, I want to learn more about this or I want to do that. And I say, hey, you know what? I have an opportunity. I have something you have access to. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm finding those folks, sharing it with those folks and inviting them in. But also when I'm making this community and you build community, you want to make sure you've got people that are like-minded. You don't want people coming in trying to hustle more stuff and sell more stuff and come in and people who are just, it's okay to be broken, but it's not cool to come in and break everybody else. And so you've got to be able to know who you're inviting in. So this community is members inviting members. And then when I'm talking to the world right now, folks that are listening, and if you decide that you want to come and listen or you want to come and look at the community, yeah, you're going to say that you want to be in there on the wait list, answer a few questions, but then a decision will be made. Is this a good fit? Because it may not be a good fit for you. And just because we're not just taking people's membership fee, which is, I think, $40 a month or something like that, but we're not just taking membership fees, okay? Because that's just a waste. There are so many people that spend money and they don't do anything with it. Or there's so many people that say they want to spend some money, they get involved in something, but they're coming in for the wrong reason. It's not about that. The membership just helps keep up with all of these real super sophisticated tools that we're using. The content is loads and loads of content. There are guests that come in. So that's what the membership does and helps to pay for. It's like your gym, but it's less than that. $40 a month. You spend more on that on coffee, if you think about it. So this is a really cool way to grow and to be connected. So let me talk to you about the key to the online, what's the online benefits to community, okay? And these are the reasons I'm doing community. Let me start with this. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm going to give you an aspect of community, and then I'm going to say what it's like when you have life in community and then when you have life outside of community, okay? So for instance, here's an aspect of community. And of course, this will apply for in real life, like in person, like if it's in your neighborhood or at a ball field or wherever you go, as well as online, okay? So the aspect will go either way. But I am speaking mostly about online community, and there will be meetup opportunities, and folks will do that wherever they are in their areas. But here is a comparison between life in community, life outside of community, and why I believe it's important to live in community. So here's an aspect, social interaction. When you have life in community with social interaction, you get frequent opportunities for connection and belonging. It's up to you, though. You've got to take the step. But when you're life outside of community, it's limited interaction, and you have a risk of loneliness. Okay, that's outside. Inside community, right? Okay, for an aspect of support system. So life in community with a support system, there's emotional and practical support readily available. So in the uphill community, the way we have it is people, you can bring up a question, you can have a challenge, say you run a company, and let's just say with what we're going to do at the beginning of the year, which I'm going to talk a few more episodes about this, but I have a signature tool that we will use throughout the year that's going to help us do something I call create lift for your life, or to lift your life. It doesn't matter what you're trying to do, relational, it could be mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, or financial. Those are the 5 that I always focus on: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, or financial. This framework and this tool is going to help you get that lift in your life toward whatever the horizon is. We're not going to lower horizons, we're going to raise them. But in that group, if you come in and you're looking for a support system, emotional and practical support that's readily available in a life and community, let's just say you're trying to move something along and you have an idea, and let's just say that it's hitting you kind of hard and you're kind of dejected and you're kind of down and you kind of feel beat up. Well, you'd have a community if it's not just in that proximity right there with you in your people group, in your day-to-day activity. You can hop onto this community and you'd be able to share in a safe space. And people who are growers, they're growing together, they are going to have a genuine interest to support you. Now, when you do life outside the community and you're just jumping on social medias and scrolling and all this other stuff, or you're just doing your life without that, even in real person, you're just coming and going just in life outside community, you got to navigate those challenges alone. Okay? So the aspect is we had social interaction. You have the aspect of support system. How about the aspect of mental health? When you're in community, okay, life in community with your mental health, it's reduced stress. It doesn't say stressless and without stress, but reduced stress and better emotional well-being because of it as a result. But life outside of community, you have a higher risk of depression and anxiety. And I don't need to give you all of the science and statistics. I mean, man, just use Google. Use your AI tool to just look it up, to say, hey, AI, provide me statistics on the risk of depression and anxiety when I live outside community. It's a simple search. Okay, here's another aspect of why I think community is so important. It's the activities and the growth part. Man, there's something about when you're in community, the activities, the functions, the growth. I don't care if you're going, there's some considerations happening with some people around me for assisted living. And one of the things that this person needs is they need some activities which will help them in the decline that they have in their life right now. So that's just in the where I can touch you world. But I can hear on the virtual world, you can have life in community, and that's the aspect of activities and growth, right? In community, you get the shared activities, the functions, things that you're doing, events. There can be, you're hosting something where I have a group of people coming together to talk about what it's like to overcome, major obstacles, or what's it like when you have to rebuild from scratch. What's it like when you're having to pivot after, what about this? What if you have all this funding for your entrepreneurial business and people pull the money out from you? So there are real things that we will talk about that are pain points in the community that people are going to be able to be there with you, and we could do activities around there that can work with you and spend some time to encourage that growth. So those activities will help you to grow. Those things that we're going to do, there's some challenges that we'll do. They're going to help you grow. But when you have life outside of community, there's fewer opportunities for engagement or even learning. It's whatever you can come up with on your own. Now, if you're a solo person and that's all you want to do, man, I'm not going to take away your solo living. If that works for you, you do it. But I know for most of us, and what I feel like the way God's created us, we're not meant to live solo. We're meant to be in community. So also, here's another aspect. You have safety and security. There's safer environments with the collective measures when you have life in community. But outside of it, you have greater vulnerability to risk. You don't have people looking out for your blind spot. You're not sharing these things. You're not doing community with folks. So you're kind of on your own. And then with another aspect of community is you have a sense of purpose, right? So when you have life in community, there are opportunities to contribute to the lives of others. You feel like, wow, I add value to somebody. To me, it's so important. If you're going to do life and you're not around other people, it's very difficult for you to add value to someone. It's very difficult for you to serve or be in service of others. It's very difficult for you to extend love. It's very difficult for you to give grace. It's very difficult for you to give mercy. All of those things are part of community, which I think are part of the things that need to come out of us in order for us to thrive. If we're not expressing love and kindness and care and service and even gratitude and thankfulness with others, I mean, it's going to put us in a spot where we dry up, wither, and die, I think. And so if you have life outside of community, it's going to have greater vulnerability to what is it, like the isolation feeling and aloneness, emptiness, sadness. I mean, there's just so many things that could happen. And so for me, this online community and what I want to put together, it's bringing the aspect of social interaction, support system, mental health, activities and growth, safety and security, and sense of purpose. It brings that together. Okay? And so for me, I'm going, so when I have those things, and I see the emotional support, I see a stronger community. It provides a network of people that are able to support each other. They're able to encourage. It's practical help when people have that in tough times. It can reduce that feeling of being alone and isolated. That's the support I'm talking about, which once again, it's linked to that mental health. And then the other one is that sense of belonging. So when you belong, you're a part of a group. You're a part of something bigger than yourself. You're part of a group of people that want to learn. It's where you can share your values or your interests, and it fosters a sense of identity and belonging because of that. And that connection is going to enhance self-esteem, and it's going to help the individual, whoever you are that's in there, to feel more valued. Another thing, what's so important to me that comes out of community is the shared resources. Man, when you come together and you have an online community, what you'll find is they pool resources together and they help one another thrive. So everyone talks about masterminds, and I know people drop in tons of money to be on a mastermind with 10 people. And I'm sitting here and I'm going, what if you could get, other people in the mix different thinking. And of course, it's okay to do this exclusive mastermind groups. But man, when it comes to a community, make the community so special. It carries all of that, because let me tell you right now, I believe there's so much potential inside of people. And most of the time we miss a lot of the great, extraordinary stuff is because we're not bringing people in close enough, because it takes a while for people sometimes to unlock that potential. And I know we want ready-made, spit it out. We want microwave. You press that button, you get your popcorn. I'm more of a, let's put some canola oil or some coconut oil into the bottom of the pot that's on the stove that's heating up. You drop one popcorn seed in there. You let your oil heat up, that seed pops. Now you add the rest of the seed and you let that cook and you shake the pot. And then when it's done, you turn it off. You get it off the heat. You let it settle. That's the way I say make the popcorn, not just press the button, go and get it. Because I tell you what, out of the 10, 20 people you can get on this exclusive mastermind, you may feel special, may feel big. You may say these are the best and brightest people in the room. Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of best and brightest people that are being overlooked. And so this community that I'm building is all about the people that are best and brightest, but it's kind of hidden. It's tucked away. That's why it's tucked for short. The Uphill community, we call it tucked inside the community. There are the best and brightest, and they need opportunity to come to the table to realize that they have something to offer. It's kind of like when we're doing all these exclusive things, some of the best musicians you're ever going to hear are performing on the sidewalk. They just haven't been discovered. There are athletes that don't have access to programs or travel sports and travel leagues that people just don't know about. And so here's my thing. Rather than chase the ones that I can easily identify, I would prefer to find the people that everyone just doesn't know where they are and invite them in. Make it accessible for people to grow and to gain and to improve, to find what it is that helps them to live and move and have their being. And so when you have shared resources, again, when you bring people in at an entry-level price where it doesn't break their bank, there's a cost savings for them. It improves their health. It gives them greater access to opportunity to where they can generate more wealth. They can generate more benefit, which then does put them in a spot where they're enriched. And now they have something because of the gratitude and thankfulness in their life. They want to invest it back in other people. And they're not ready to abandon their group. They're not ready to abandon the community for a bigger community. They never outgrow it, because what they realize is they have gratitude and says, this is what I've grown into. And then they help raise the level of the community. It's like when you have a team and you have maybe a couple of very, very high-end players on that team, very top talent, but yet you're building a program. So there are people that want to choose the superstars only and make a program and get into a superstar league that competes. You have that in the NFL, and you have teams that can only win 3 games with all these all-stars. It's because even though you have all that talent, people mostly are not developing and grooming and growing that talent. So what if you could take a couple of very talented individuals that were committed to stick around, that are your top performers, and rather than them trying to get out and get into something exclusive, what they do is they take that top tier talent and they develop the people that are around them. That's what happens when you share resources and opportunities in community. There's the encouragement for growth when you're living in community, right? These are so important to me. Community challenges, right? It'll help the individual to learn and get that diverse perspective, maybe to try something new, because their best thinking has gotten them into the situation they're in. Okay, and so they need new thinking to help them change it, because that's their best life right now, is what they've been thinking. So what if they could get some other perspectives? And, so again, I don't want to reiterate, you got the safety, you have the improved health. I mean, that's all built and baked into that community. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to bring people in to community and why it's so important, and to see them step into an opportunity to grow. And so if you were to say to me, Tim, what are the benefits? What are the key benefits? I gave you aspects, right? Life in community, and I showed you life outside. Life in community, the social interactions, the support system, mental health, activities and growth, safety and security, sense of purpose. Okay, but let me just give you I'm going to give you a list of key benefits, okay? And even though they're virtual spaces, okay, these things that I'm talking about, they transcend geographical boundaries, and it's going to get you tools and diverse things, okay? It's going to get you meaningful engagement. But here are the key benefits of the uphill community, right? So you're going to be connected. It doesn't matter where a person is in the world. You're going to have access to talk to people who, believe it or not, they may be right down the road from you, but they may be across the country. They may be in another country. I don't know, because we're building a fresh community. But what's nice about it, you can have meaningful discussions, and you can talk, and you don't feel remote. You feel a little bit bigger in the world, and those people are able to share that world with you. It will help combat loneliness. Not just doing Mortal Kombat online or what are the Call of Duty and mine. I mean, get it. Those are cool, man. But I'm talking about, it helps you to get a real connection and a sense of belonging, especially if you can put it around some learning. Because in the uphill community, we will have learning, which in the next episodes, I'll talk about this signature course and the framework that I'll be taking people through. And we're learning together. And it's not just around a course. It's around, it's the work that we're going to do. It's the exercise program that we're going to be in. But you may be a little bit more keto. The other person may be another type. It's going to be, these are free weights and these are bands, but it doesn't matter. We're doing these things together. And remember, our focus is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, or financial well-being, that what we're going to work on, we're going to create lift for your life. But you're going to do it and not be alone. You'll be able to do it with folks. You're going to have the skill development, because this community, it's going to focus on learning and growth. Okay, it's going to focus on there's going to be course opportunities. There are going to be some coaching opportunities. There are going to be collaborative opportunities. You're going to be able to gain maybe new skills. You're going to maybe, some of the stuff we'll have to talk about utilizing some tools out there. It's going to help you to grab a hold of new skills and reskill yourself. It's going to help reinforce some habits. It's going to help with achieving personal and professional transformation, though, with accountability in this growth. So it's not just you're going to learn stuff, but remember, what good is learning if you don't get the application of learning, which will get you to understanding, and understanding becomes wisdom. That's what we're going to be doing. And then we're going to have these focused conversations around challenges, around things that we need to work on. There'll be niche discussions, things that you'll be able to connect around a shared interest. Maybe it's changing your mindset. Maybe it's developing new habits. Maybe who knows what it's going to be, because remember, the community itself, what we're doing in community around our learning, it's going to come out. It's going to come out that way. It's kind of like your body will tell you where it's sore if you listen to it. And so that's what we're going to do. Then there's going to be the professional networking aspect. Some of you who are listening, if you join a community, wouldn't it be great if you could literally put it out there and say, hey, I'm trying to grow my business by five times. Can someone help me to think this through? And these are my ideas. Or, hey, I'm trying to build this over here, or I'm trying to do this thing over here, or I'm trying to exercise better here. I don't know what you're trying to do, but you can talk to the community about it. But if it's about your professional networking, you're going to be able to do skill sharing, career development. You're going to be able to share your industry expertise in something. Who knows? Someone might go, hey, can you help me with? In communities that I've been a part of, that this is where I'm modeling all this from, I've seen people get together and make companies that are doing great together. So again, it's so important. The other part of this is in the uphill community, and why online community for me is important in the uphill community is it's member-led growing. So these aren't subscribers, these are members, people that we're choosing, and the members are choosing members. And as we grow together, we'll know if we're going to go together. That's just going to be obvious, okay? We'll figure it out, and we'll see it, and we'll know it. So unlike these traditional content-driven platforms and course-driven things, okay, that online communities often have, we're going to thrive on member-generated interactions. around things that we're learning. We're going to reduce the burden of having to bring in a magic host to make everybody happy, to constantly create new content and try to guess at everything. No, why do that? And I don't want to build it on a personality. I've got 10 people right now that I will be bringing in to do different talks and different things that are going to help the community. Some are around, they're tremendous around self-management, not time management, managing yourself. I know people that are really, really good at recreating things. They're really good at turning things around. There are people that I know that can take a penny and turn it into, man, they can tremendously multiply and make resources out of it. Okay, member led. And then the other part is we're not static. Everything we do is customizable. So we're able to, in this community, we don't just get stuck in a road and like we have to follow. It's like this. No, what's cool is with all the tools that are available, which are in the convenience and accessibility on a phone. Okay, what's nice, or on your computer or your iPad, everything's built in. We can quickly move things, quickly add things, quickly put something in there. We can change it while we're in the middle of doing it, which is so cool. Someone can have an idea and go, hey, it would be really good if we had a board right here or a post that helped us all remember X, Y, and Z with links directly to it. Oh, cool. So one of the people that are part of the team that are in the Uphill community would add it in really quick and bam. It's live, just like that. I mean, literally just like that. So there's so much that I want to tell you, so much that I want to show you. And I know that's a lot that I've given to you already. But let's just get back to the community, okay? In closing, I just want to say, when you're living in good community and you have a good community, you're going to discover, you're going to know, it's a non-negotiable for your life. That community is essential for enhancing your quality of life. It's essential for fostering emotional well-being and providing support for your life and definitely during your life's challenges. Because as humans, we're inherently social beings. As much as we may struggle with it, may not agree with it, may not know how to do it, we are social beings. And being part of a community, it creates a strong sense of belonging and purpose. It gives us security that is difficult to achieve when we're in isolation. So I've given you some key reasons why community is important. And I give them to you in comparison with community life when you have it and when you don't have it. I've told you why I'm starting this, what's in it, what would be in it for you. It would be an opportunity for you to do what I'm trying to do and what I do all the time with my clients and everyone that I do life with, is that it's to get clarity on the things that I want to do. It's to raise the standards, create the standards, whatever they are that are necessary for me to embrace my call to and for more and not do it alone. So if that's you and you're looking for community, I encourage you to go to theuphill.community. It's that simple, theuphill.community, and check it out. And if you join, I can't wait to see you there. So until next time, we'll talk soon.